This is one way of making a car out of craft materials, electronics and other bits and pieces. You can adapt the design to make it work better for you, but this way is fairly simple and it works pretty well. So this is a piece of foam board. It's stiff and light and it has a notch cut out of the middle. Make sure you use a ruler to make sure the notch is in the center. 2 straws, skewers, bamboo skewers, little wheels, a 9-volt battery, the clip that fits on the 9-volt battery, a pulley band, a DC motor, and then little gear wheels and pulley wheels that fit on the motor and on the axles. So you start by cutting the straw, which is going to hold the axle, so it is the right size, and glue gunning that onto the foam board. And then you want to put the axle through here, so the axle will spin freely. I mean, you need to make sure it's 90 degrees to the foam board, not at an angle. Okay, the other straw you need to cut into smaller pieces because the axle needs to be exposed. So then the pulley wheel is going to go on the axle, and this needs to be stiff. So if there's any rotation, you should put a spot of glue here and a spot of glue here to stop it moving on the axle. You don't want it to move on the axle. And then you put the straws on. Probably want to cut the skewer down to size, but the straws and the axle and the pulley wheel are going to glue across the notch like this. You also, before you glue it down, you want to put the pulley wheel over, the pulley band over the pulley wheel, just like that. You can't see the straws very well, but they're here. The other axle is going to glue here, and then eventually the wheels will go on. And a lot of these pieces don't fit perfectly, so you need to put a spot of glue, or maybe even cut the ends off these and shave them down to the right size. Then eventually, when you've all glued that together, the motor is going to go around here, and the motor is going to have the little pulley wheel stuck onto it. There we go. And the pulley band will go from the motor to the pulley on the axle, and this needs to be about the right tension. Sometimes you'll need to problem solve a little bit, maybe even putting the motor up a little bit by raising it. You don't want the pulley band to be rubbing anywhere, and you do want it to be about the right tension. You can hook it up and find the right position before you glue it down. Then you hook up the motor to the 9-volt battery, put it somewhere on the base of the car. You need to add a switch so you can switch your car off. You need to put the wheels on the ends. It is possible, if you want larger wheels, this works well on the back, to use maybe a lid from a jar of peanut butter or something, and to hot glue the small wheel that fits on the axle into the center of the larger wheel, and then you can have bigger wheels on the back. Again, it's good to have a larger pulley wheel here than you have on here, because the size difference is going to give you more force on the axle. It's going to give you a mechanical advantage, increasing the strength of the motor, which is going to be important in making the car move. So that's how you make a small car.